Every full moon, the whisper spread, "The fair is coming." It appeared without warning at the edge of town, lights shimmering like dying stars, music twisting through the air like a siren's call. Those who visited never spoke of what they'd seen, but the rumors were enough. Wishes granted, lives changed, but at a price no one dared reveal. Amelia had always dismissed the stories as drunken nonsense, the kind of myth small towns clung to for excitement. Her life left no room for fairy tales. A mountain of debt loomed over her, her job barely covered the essentials, and her apartment was a crumbling reminder of her failures. Love, too, had eluded her. Loneliness was her only constant companion. So when the ticket appeared on her windowsill that night, carried in by a gust of moonlit wind, she couldn't resist. The paper was cold to the touch, embossed with silver letters that shimmered as she read, "Admit 1, the Midnight Fair. Your deepest wish granted for a price." The temptation was irresistible. The fair was a myth, surely, but if it wasn't? Amelia's chest ached with longing, the kind she didn't dare admit even to herself. She stuffed the ticket into her pocket and followed the trail of silver lights snaking through the darkened streets to the outskirts of town. The fair sprawled before her, a fever dream of sound and color. Clowns with razor-sharp grins juggled flaming skulls. A Ferris wheel creaked slowly, its gondolas filled with shadowy, unmoving figures. Vendors called out, hawking treats that smelled of cinnamon and blood. The air pulsed with a low, rhythmic hum, a heartbeat that seemed to emanate from the sprawling carousel at the center of it all. Its horses were grotesque, their manes made of human hair, their mouths filled with glinting teeth. Amelia hesitated at the entrance, her breath catching. "Man, second thoughts?" The voice was smooth as silk, and she turned to see a man stepping from the shadows. He was pale as the moon, his black eyes glittering with a light that wasn't reflected in the carnival. His smile revealed too many teeth. "Man, you don't belong here, not yet." "Amelia, I have a ticket." She pulled it from her pocket and held it out. The man examined it, his smile widening. "Man, so you do. What is it you desire, Amelia?" Her throat tightened. She hadn't spoken her wish aloud, yet it burned inside her like a hidden flame. To be loved, to feel wanted, cherished, to no longer be alone. "Man, love is a dangerous wish, but it can be yours." He extended a hand, his nails gleaming like obsidian. Amelia hesitated, but only for a moment. She grasped his hand, shivering at its icy touch. "Man, follow me." He led her into a tent draped in black silk. Inside, a labyrinth of mirrors surrounded her, each one reflecting a version of herself. Some joyful, some sorrowful, some distorted beyond recognition. "The price!" the man whispered in her ear, his breath cold against her skin. "To gain, you must give. Amelia, I'll do anything." The mirror closest to her began to ripple like water, and from its depths stepped a man. He was tall and broad-shouldered, his dark eyes smoldering with desire. He smiled, and her heart stuttered. He was everything she had ever dreamed of, and when he reached for her, his touch ignited a fire in her veins. But as his hands moved over her, they tightened, claws pressing into her flesh. His smile stretched too wide, his teeth sharp and glinting. His whispers turned guttural, filled with hunger. "Man, you wished for love. Now you are mine to devour." Amelia tried to pull away, but his grip was iron. Pain lanced through her as his form unraveled, revealing a creature of sinew and shadow, its mouth filled with rows of gnashing teeth. Around her, the mirrors shimmered, revealing other victims trapped in eternal embraces with their desires turned monstrous. "Amelia, no!" But her voice was swallowed by the fair. The next morning, the carnival was gone. In its place was an empty field, save for a single mirror standing upright in the grass. Amelia's face stared out from its surface, frozen in an expression of eternal terror. For those who would come to the fair next, she would serve as a warning, a cautionary tale etched in glass, though few would heed it. After all, the Midnight Fair always offered what people desired most, and it always collected its price.